Hi everyone, I'm Steve Holl. I'm a principal architect for product management in Cisco Customer Experience, also known as CX. And I'm part of the team that helps with the Cisco IQ. This video is specifically going to cover the assets application. The assets application allows for unification of all of your Cisco asset information into one place. So in one spot, you've got the ability to understand what's going end of life when, what's going end of support when, and you can manage that life cycle and manage that operating risk of your assets. This basically allows you complete landscape clarity across your whole Cisco estate.
So like all of our applications, the first thing that you're going to be greeted with is an overview page. And this is a dashboard that provides some convenient statistics around some insights around our assets. All of these charts are interactable, so I can click on it and drill into the actual data that supports the underlying chart. And I can also customize my dashboard by going over here to customize, and then I can rearrange charts around if I want to change the order of them. Or I could also remove specific panels if I didn't want to see certain things. And if I change my mind at some point in the future, I can also go back to customize and I can reset the layout back to defaults. In the overview page, as well as in the inventory, I'm provided some filters as well. So I can specifically filter and just get insights around specific attributes. Like maybe I'm interested in just a specific product family, and then all of my charts will update accordingly. So I've got some convenient, highly used filter attributes here across the top that if I click on filters, you can see that I've got other filters available to me as well. So very extensible and flexible list of attributes that I can use to sort or slice and dice my data. So now let's take a look at our inventory. So I go over here. I'm presented with a unified list of all of my assets across all contracts that I've onboarded into Cisco IQ. Again, I can filter here. So maybe I can filter for devices that are last day of support within the next 12 months and see that information. Or again, I can filter on other attributes. Like maybe I want to see anything that's going last day of support within the next 12 months that's also affected by security advisories. And I can even save this filter to EOL 12-month vulnerable. And then you can see that it's saved. And then in the future, if I want to recall this filter, I've got my save filters here, and I can easily click that instead of having to go and maybe set a bunch of attributes every time I go into Cisco IQ if I'm always looking for the same filtered data. And then I can delete my save filter there as well. Another filter that might be useful to be aware of is the tags. And these are key value pairs that you can customize and you can set and then assign to assets. And so you can use these for any type of definition. You can see here we've got one attribute or one key called area, and then we're defining that area as Eastern USA, or we're defining a location key or attribute, and then we're setting the location, and then we can associate these tags to specific devices. So like here, if I want to see assets that have been tagged with the location of Texas, then I can see specifically what assets are. And if you need to add new tags, if I'm an administrator, I can go over here to system settings, and then there will be a tag option where I can go through, and then I can define new tags in a key value format. If I want to export the results from the list, it's very easy to do with this export function. You can select the columns that I maybe want to see or not see. I can also change the order of these columns accordingly. And I have the option to export into either CSV or Excel format. And then it'll generate that, and then I can go and download and open that file up. So now let's take a look at a specific asset. So we're going to go click here and take a look at details on a specific asset. And you can see I've now presented details around this device. So I can understand quickly the product ID, the product type and family that it is, when the last day of support is. You can see that this one's coming up relatively soon. So we've got a warning here around that. And some information around like the serial number, the host name of the device, the software release that it's on. You can see where it's installed at, according to Cisco Commerce Workplace as the install site. You can see the last time we've gotten telemetry from this device. So we did get telemetry from this device yesterday. So we're getting accurate information, and we're getting the information from Catalyst Center in this example. And you can see that we've got active coverage status around this device. I can also go to product alerts, and then I can easily see all of the critical alerts that I should be aware of on this device. So any security advisories that apply to this device will show up here, and as well as any field notices at the hardware or the software level. And then if there's an active end of life announcement or end of support announcement around the hardware for the device, then we pull that through as well and link that here. So this is a nice page that provides you prioritized list of what's critically actionable for reducing risk on this device. We can also get some information around the hardware and software lifecycle on these next two tabs as well. So you see kind of like this water flow chart around all of the milestone dates around when end of life was first announced, end of sale, and then these dates around like last day of software maintenance. I know this date's specifically important because a lot of compliance teams tell you to take the device off your network due to the risk if you can't apply patches and maintenance releases onto a device to get rid of security vulnerabilities. So I know a lot of companies specifically manage to this date and make sure that they've got replacement strategy in place before then. Likewise, you'll see it on the software side as well. So your software lifecycle based off of the software version that's running, you can easily see when that's going to stop getting maintenance releases as well and stop being supported by TAC. Also in the assets page is the ability to see the service contracts, which if you watched one of my other videos regarding setting up an account, we walked through how to add some of these contracts, but you can see easily here in the assets page all of the contracts that we've got associated, and then some information around like the term, the start and the end date of that, so knowing when that's expiring, and also understanding the support tier coverage that that contract covers, as well as the assets that are associated under that device. So really easy way to just kind of see what assets are under what contracts, as well as what support tier they're associated to. Another way to view some of the end of life information is to go to this end of life section here. And then again, both hardware and software end of life visibility is available here. So you can click that, and then it basically is applying these filters to show you devices that are either past end of life or have an upcoming end of life milestone. So this page is helpful because it gives you a nice view of everything that you need to action either now or in the near future, because it already has an end of life announcement and something's going to be going end of life at some point in the future. And then one final thing that I haven't mentioned yet regarding on these inventory screens or these end of life screens is we have this insight banner. So this is an AI generated summarization of all of the information that's showing up in this table below and giving you some insights. So giving you like some top milestone values and metrics of how many devices across my estate are included in this table. So just gives you a nice summarization and some bullets around some stuff that you'd maybe want to address and action. And then I can even get more details. I can click on view, and then it builds an AI powered report or dashboard dynamically in real time based off of the underlying data that's driving that summarization bullet, which is pretty cool. So this insights page is nice for you to just kind of have a top of mind or kind of morning coffee type perspective around, based off of this data, what should be your top care abouts, then helping you prioritize where you want to spend your time optimizing and managing towards a healthier state. I can even click this full analysis button, and then it's going to generate a nice chart like you might have seen in some of the other videos or other demonstrations around all of this underlying data. So I'll let this generate, and then I can consume these insights, or I could customize this. And again, I could move some charts around, maybe remove some panels from the report, or I could even ask it to do certain things like convert my security advisories by coverage status chart into a pie chart. And then you can see that it took that histogram and converted it to a pie chart. Those that know me personally well, I despise pie charts, but just going to show you the flexibility of around how you can use natural language to chat with your reports and change the way you visualize your data, which provides a really flexible way to drive reports. But I will cancel that and not accept that change. So I can download my report as a PDF, or I can choose to save it to the server. And then that report would be available for me at any point in the future. So you can see that that's now available here. So kind of creating a snapshot shows me when this was created. I can also delete it if I need. And then all of these reports are available in this reports page that is showing up on my homepage under the personal reports section. So now I want to show you the AI assistant and how you can chat with the AI assistant to be able to derive insights and information from the assets data that we have available to us. So I'm going to go chat with the AI assistant. And you can see here, we've got some canned prompts. So I could either select one of these canned prompts. So like summarize my assets past last day of support. And it's going to summarize that information. I can download an Excel spreadsheet that has just the devices past last day of support. Again, I can click the analyze response. It's going to use the AI-powered reporting engine to generate a visualization of this data from the question that I asked, and then the results that came back from that. And I can ask it a more custom question. So maybe I can say, show me a list of devices past last day of support that are Nexus 9000 switches. So that's going to be a subset of what just got returned from the canned prompt, but we're now asking it a more custom question just to demonstrate that it's now going to interact with that data set. And then it should return to me just the 199 Nexus 9K switches. So you can see here's a list of my 199 records showing me the first 30. And then I can download the spreadsheet, or I could analyze this response for more information, again, generate that report. So as you can see, the AI assistant is very powerful because you can use natural language, ask it business questions around your estate. And with the power of IQ unifying all of your asset information from all of your Cisco controllers and all of your different product types all into one spot, you now have not only a unified way to be able to see and understand the risk of old devices in your estate, but then you can also interact with it, chat with it, uncover new insights and information based off of whatever business problem you're trying to solve. So maybe you're starting some financial planning and you need to understand your budget for hardware replacement at a specific site. You could ask the AI assistant questions around how many devices are going end of life within the next year at a specific site. It'll extract that information. You could go generate that to a report, then go send that Excel spreadsheet or that PDF visual report with the charts to like an asset manager or procurement manager, and then arm them with the data to be able to take the next steps and action that. And with that, that rounds out the current capabilities as of the April release for Cisco IQ regarding the assets application. Next up, we'll talk about the assessments application and talk about a shared assessment framework that you can then run against those assets to be able to uncover opportunities both at the configuration or at the software level.